Middle family, this is my first sermon as a reverend. Thank you to all who helped usher me through and came to bear witness to that moment. We are posting it on YouTube for those who might still want to watch it. But wow, it was quite a journey. It took me 5 years from graduating seminary to get to that day. When I entered into seminary, I was given 2 roads to follow by an older minister I knew: preacher or teacher. I was told that I need to put down the other things I loved. But God pointed out another road that included all that I loved. I get to teach and preach and perform and write and compose. God showed that a path that let me be all of me, a path that led me back to who I already knew I was, a path home was possible. And I'll be honest, as a digital minister before the pandemic, I spent a fair amount of time trying to convince folks that church could exist online. Few were convinced, but middle dreams big. And we dreamed of creating a home for people who couldn't physically be with us. The nightmare of the pandemic opened the virtual doors of the church, allowing hundreds of people to find their way home to Middle. 7 years ago, when I started working at Middle as an intern, we were displaced from the building. We held our gatherings at the Ukrainian restaurant down the street. We worked closely together in one room in another building that's now a spa, I think. And now, it's an entirely different road. But we find home in Zoom rooms and chats, in the zeros and ones that bring us together. It's a new year, fam. Happy New Year. If you are here, listening and watching and worshiping with us today, congratulations. You made it through a tough year. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the individual years of each and every person watching right now, but what I do know is that you are here. That really bad day you had last year, you survived it. Pat yourself on the back, lift your hands to God. We made it through. Was it the way we thought it'd be? Nope. But we're here, and we are still us. We are still the ones we've been waiting for. We are still here for all of us. We are still believing that love is an action. We are here. Maybe we didn't make it home the way we came, on the familiar path, but God got us through on another way back to who we are, back home. 2020 was a doozy. It tested our perseverance. Every single time we thought it was the worst day, something came up. And we survived every single one of those days, finding our way back home every single time. Maybe a different path than we thought, but we keep finding our way back to each other. We learn, we adjust, we grieve, we find another road home. Finding that road can take many forms. For the 3 wise men from the East in our scripture, God told them in a dream not to go back the way they came. When the author of the Gospel of Matthew chose to include this in the text, it empowered the ancient audience with this subversion of power in the face of death. Perhaps yours was a tree that was felled in your path, or a fire that gutted our sanctuary. Now, I am not saying that God caused the fire in our church. That's not how it works. But we thought God was going to bring us home one way. COVID would end and we could all come safely back to our sanctuary just as before. Then the fire happened, and we now find ourselves on another road home. We can't go back to who we were before 2020, beloved. And I ask you, what can we learn that we wouldn't have experienced if we didn't have to go home by another road? How can we live more fully into what God is calling us to do because our path is now different? What have we learned in 2020 that sends us on our journey home a different way? One lesson feels crystal clear as I look back over the last year, and that is that some things aren't created, they're just revealed. It revealed to a lot of people who had been distracted by frenzied pace of our lives the grotesque underbelly of America. It wasn't new, it was just revealed. And the Black Lives Matter movement picked up a new kind of steam because folks were paying attention. Another lesson that was revealed to our nation, to our world, is that the things that make you also make me and also make up God. Or, in short, it's all intersectional. Your problems are my problems. They are the problems of humanity. It has to matter to me that you can't get health care. It has to matter to you that my reproductive rights are in jeopardy. It has to matter that someone's humanity is endangered by your vote. It has to matter if someone is persecuted because of who they love. It has to matter that a jail sentence during COVID becomes a death sentence. It has to matter. Only when it matters to us all will we find our way back home together. It's a different road than what we thought we'd be on, but we must keep moving toward that tomorrow when God's kingdom comes and God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. So, let's bravely face this year, trusting that we will continue to be led by the divine on our new path home, our new path toward justice, liberation, freedom. Let us dust ourselves off, nurse our wounds, and breathe into this new year, showing up bravely as our whole selves in 2021. Maybe power posing our way through if it helps. God will always bring us home, even if the path is different than we've traveled before. I'm finding bravery in this new year with a mixture of power posing and singing a song from a musical I used to watch every year as a kid. I'll share it with you in case it helps you as we travel together on this very different road home. I asked some of our members to help me out, and I hope that you'll join me too, striking a pose that makes you feel powerful in this new year as you head into this moment and look into the future. And I hope you'll sing along, trusting God will always provide a road home. The song goes like this. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what